Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters. And then what? This is the real questions that we need to ask ourselves in these days and in this event specifically and in all other events. And then what? This is something that we all need to agree to. This is a test from God to us to either pass in this test or to either lose. So we need to ask ourselves, and then what? Do we need to do something to be more efficient in the world that we live nowadays by helping ourselves and we helping others? We need to really remember what is the purpose of our creation. What is the purpose that Allah have mentioned in the Quran for all of us? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have never created the humans and the devils except to worship me. Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't want us to pay Him. He doesn't want us to provide food for anyone. The only purpose for our creation is to worship Allah. And in this pandemic, everyone almost is staying at home. Everyone from the essential workers that they go to work, the nurses, the firefighters, the police department, everyone to keep us safe, the people in the front line, and most of us are in home. What are you doing? And even if you are one of these first responders that you actually out there doing your work and doing what you're supposed to do, why are we far away from God? Why are we still not remembering Allah? Why we are forgetting about Allah? And if we do remember Allah, what have we done? In this time, in this event, it's important for us to gather together. It's important for us to learn more about Islam. It's important for us to know if we happen to be one of those people that they will be dead. Are we ready to die yet? Are we ready to go? What have you done? Try to make a list of what is the good deeds that you have done and what is the bad deeds that you want to get rid of. Try to learn more about what Allah wants from you specifically, and what is your purpose in life. And if your purpose of life is different from the purpose that Allah have said to us in the Quran, then you need to actually work in this to make both of them match. You need to do your best. You need to work as hard as you could. Try to read the Quran. Try to pray. Try to get the tafsir, the explanation of the Quran, and try to read the explanation. Study it with your family. Excuse me. Try to see what Allah have said when He sends His punishment and what He expecting us from Allah. Don't try to be like those of people that Allah have mentioned in the Quran, that they ask Allah to save them while they're in the sea, and the sea, get, as we call it nowadays, getting mad, and they figured out that the boat that they were in is not going really to save their lives. So they said, "Oh Allah, please make us saved. Please get us to the ground and we promise you to worship you." And then they didn't end up worshipping, because as soon as they arrive to the ground, they forget what have they promised to Allah. Dear brothers and sisters, in this event, Allah wants us to ask for forgiveness. In this event, Allah wants us to be more close to Him. And as Sayyidah Aisha, I think, as Sayyidah Aisha asked the Prophet ﷺ, in the meaning of the hadith, one of the Prophet's wives asked the Prophet ﷺ, I think it may be Sayyidah Aisha, she said, "O Prophet Muhammad, Do you think we all gonna die even when we have the good people among us? He said yes. He said yes, إذا كثر الخبث, yes, when everything bad is too much. Aren't we in a world now that almost everything bad is too much? Allah also said in the Quran that we have earned, like we get punished because of somewhat we have already have done. Allah will not gonna punish us with everything we have made. He will only punish us with a few from what our hand have earned. So it's time for us to ask Allah to forgive us. It's time for us to try to study the Quran more often. It's time for us to try to practice the religion. It's time for us to do everything as Allah have said. And as in this event and in this situation, the only way to do this is to learn more about your religion, is to ask people, is to see if you're doing a sin, to stop doing that sin. Dear brother and sister, I'm not going to take much of your time. I try to keep it as short videos as it could. But please, I ask you sincerely to consider your relationship with Allah, to consider your relationship with your Creator. No matter what religion you are, no matter what faith you follow, no matter what you believe in. If you even don't believe, I think this is the time that you really need to consider your life. I've been always asked this question: what if you die and then you figure that what you've been doing for your life is not even true or accurate? I said, that's a very good, important question. For me, it's always ordering me to have a good moral, to be a nice person, to follow my religion, to worship, etc. I said, but you doing everything, and then if we die, if what I'm doing is not valued, it's okay because I've done all good stuff, but for you really is a person that you need to worry about it. The Prophet ﷺ have taught us everything in our life, either from the Quran or from Sunnah, and there are nothing that they have left us behind without teaching it to us. So it's our responsibility, since now we have the time, because before, when we used to tell people, please get back to Allah, please try to find your ways, they always say, I don't have time. And instead of spending your time in the social media, and instead of spending your time doing everything else is not important, try to figure what's really important. Try to focus in your purpose of life, that only Allah have created us to worship Him. So if you do anything else, you're supposed to do it to help you worship Allah. But you are not supposed to do it just because you feel like it. You're supposed to do it because this is what Allah wants from you. So try to read the Quran and see in such pandemic what Allah wants from you. Try to see in all your life, even if there is no pandemic. The entire world is shut down because of a virus that we cannot even see with our own eyes. وَمَا يَعْلَمُ جُنُودُ رَبِّكَ إِلَّا هُ. No one knows a soldier of Allah except Him. This could be one of the soldiers of Allah. And Allah can say to the thing, kun fayakun. It's all His orders between the D and the O, do. And Allah Azza wa Jal will make it happen. He's the Creator. So I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope everyone is taking the precautions that he could take to save himself. But believing and knowing that your precaution will not gonna make any difference if Allah wants you to die. You need to know that if Allah wanted to happen, it will happen no matter what. But our job is take measures, follow the procedures, and then success. And if it happened, and this is our day, and we all gonna die, I hope I'm dying doing the right thing. I hope from God that when my time is come, I've been done everything that in my ability that I have been done. And this is one of the purpose why I'm recording this video right now. Because I want all of us to be aware. And I want to say to God, I tried my best, even I tried to inform my fellow brothers and sisters. I tried to inform them, man, if we all humans, we all do sins, but if you didn't ask for forgiveness, man, this is the time. This is the time that you need to get closer to God. This is the time that you need to get closer to your Creator. This is the time that you really, really need to show how far you are weak when you are talking to your Creator. This is the moment. This is the moment that you should, now we fear from a virus more than our fear from our Creator. This cannot be happening. This is impossible to think about. We need to replace this fear. We need to make this fear only from Allah. Because He's the one who could stop it, or He's the one who can make it go for years. In my previous video I said try to knock at the right door. In this video I'm trying to tell you the most important thing in our life, in our humanity. Try to satisfy your Creator, because this is the only safety that you can get. No one can protect you. No one can save you except Him, Allah. And it's our duty to remind ourselves, to remind you, to get back, to ask God to forgive us from our sin. Try to figure, is the life that I'm living right now, is this the right way of living it? The problem sometimes is not in the sense that everyone knows it's a sin. No, the problem in the things that you think it's not a sin, but it's actually a sin. So we need to evaluate our life. Try to check with your local imams. Try to check with your local religious authorities and try to figure out, is the way that you live, this is the right way to live it or no? If you haven't contacted your parents yet, try to contact them. If you haven't contacted your family, try to contact them. This is the best time to show humanity. Not just because this is how we need to be, but this is because how we need to satisfy our Creator. Dear brother and sister, if this is the last episode of the life, which I believe not yet, but if this is the last episode of life and we live in it, you should have thought of how are you preparing for your next life. Today I read a wisdom thought that speak about our life is between the B and the D. The B being born and the D when we die. And between the B and the D, there is a C letter, because it's a choice. And the choice, you are the one who's gonna make it. The choice is yours. You either make it to success, or you lose it forever. You have the choice now to be better to those that they have offended you, to be nicer to those that they have harmed you, to be nice to those that they make you feel sad one day. If you never made it yet, this is the time to do it. Dear brother, I'm not asking for much. Just try to be you, but also try to be you according to what your Creator wants from you. And remember that no matter how long we live now, when we die, this is real life. because that will be eternity. So no one will gonna die again after that. So don't fear from the virus, fear from God. And then God can fix everything else. Let your fear be controlled, but what you can get done. And at the end of my video, again, don't forget, if you like my content, please hit the like button or hit the subscribe to get the new things. I'm trying to be like these people on YouTube. That's my second video. And you know what? I hope we all make it out of this stronger in faith and in humanity too. Assalamu alaikum, and I hope to see you soon.